And sacked. What next for Tottenham Hotspur? News finally broke this afternoon that Ange has been relieved of his duties. Finally, we know as a fan base what is going on with the club. Look, there's going to be many unhappy fans tonight. Obviously, after winning that Europa League, a lot more fans were back behind Ange, and they felt that he should be given next season because of it's been so long without winning a trophy. And yeah, he did it. So they wanted him to start, or at least be given the first part of the season to see if he could push Spurs on. Now, you all know how I feel about Ange. I've wanted him gone for a long time. As a fan, as I keep repeating myself, I don't want to be losing every week, and it's just not good enough, in my opinion. We must be better, much better than we have been, probably since last season. Really, after the first 10 games, I've just not seen enough progression. But look, it is a tough day for the fan base because look, it's good that we all know what's going on, but again, not everyone's going to be happy about it, and there's going to be a lot of angry people. We've all seen it alleviate out. The club have got no ambition. The club people can't believe they've sacked Ange after winning that trophy. Obviously, for the people who wanted Ange gone, they're obviously going to be happy because that's what they want. And I am obviously happy that he's gone, but I'm not going to rub it in people's faces and say I was right, you were wrong, sort of thing. It's just not. It's gone beyond that now. All season it's been in Ange in, Ange out debates, and I'm sick of it. And I'm kind of pleased that that debate is over now, and Spurs could start off fresh with a new manager, new project, or whatever you want to call it. But again, I mean, I do struggle to understand why fans don't understand why he's gone and are shocked that he's gone. Because if you look at it sensibly, we have lost a lot of games and we finished 17th. And when you're and the board, this is the board's job, when they kind of review Ange's performance, put aside the fantastic Europa League win, it's not been good enough overall. It has not. Too many poor performances, bad results, defeat after defeat. And we need to get a manager in who can juggle both things, trying to win the trophy and giving us a respectable league position and performances generally and progression as right. You need progression in the season where you see the style of play improving, you see players getting better, and there's not been any of that really, have they? Ange's done amazing to get us that Europa League trophy. He managed to find a way. And, he will leave the club knowing that he's delivered a trophy and with his head held high. And, thank you, Ange, for doing that and giving us an amazing night and that amazing winning feeling. And we will be thankful for Ange. But, when you get down to it, the nitty gritty, for me, in my opinion, it's just not done enough. Not done enough for me to see that he can be better next season, and he can juggle, multiple competitions. Now that the question will be around that there's no Spurs manager in the last 17 years who's given us a respectable league position and a trophy, which is true. But we have seen previous managers be more competitive in the Premier League week to week. Really, we need a manager to come in, somebody a bit like Poch. I'm not saying the exact same style of play, but a manager who can give us results, win games, not get beaten so easily. Just give us a respectable, competitive team. And that's what we want as Spurs. We all know the ceiling under Levy is, league titles, winning the Champions League are unrealistic under this board unless they have a massive change of way they operate. So we really kind of need to get a manager in who can bring us as close to possible as the Poch times, I say, or Harry Redknapp, or a manager like that who can kind of something we can enjoy watching week in, week out. And, hopefully some better football, seeing a team defend well, attack well, do both. And that's the key thing here for Spurs moving forward, is that they hire the right man. Thomas Frank is the favourite. A lot of fans are underwhelmed by that. They think it's a sideways step, a backward step. But Thomas Frank, he's done a good job at Brentford, under a tight budget, not the biggest wage bill. And he's made back Brentford, a secure Premier League team. They've had some good performances over the time they've been in the Premier League, beating some big teams. Look, they're not perfect, but then if you look at Brentford and the budget and the money that they spend. Their recruitment has been great for the players they brought in, for the amount they spent. Frank and his coaching team have developed a competitive side, a respectable Premier League side. You may say, yeah, mid-table side, but it's Brentford, isn't it? 17,000 seater stadium. They're doing the best they can under Frank's management. And Frank, he seems like a good person, a good man manager. We've all seen him behind the scenes in action. We've seen him on Sky Sports. He uses tactics. He's got tactics. He changes formations game to game, depending on the opposition. Brentford scored a lot of goals last season. And look, he's improved a lot of players playing for Brentford and made them a decent side. Now, is Frank the man to take Spurs forward? Now, that's the big question, right? A lot of doubters. I think Frank should be given an opportunity at a bigger club. Should Spurs be going for bigger than Frank? But Tottenham Hotspur, they just lack so much ambition, don't they? And this whole thing today, the news of Ange going, is, for me, it's just step one. Step two is who we're going to bring in. Now, what manager we're going to bring in? And then step three, who we're going to sign? Are they going to back him next season, which is going to be a difficult season, being in the Champions League. I think we do have a good set of players in the squad. I think that we've seen a togetherness in that Europa League, that they can defend for their lives, they can want it, they can pull out results. And that's something that I feel that we need to build on. And that new manager coming in as soon as possible to start working on things, whoever that is. And, the recruitment has got to step up and be a lot better. There's always the worry of Spurs, isn't it? The ambition and the level of player that we're going to bring in. Are we going to break the wage structure? All of this sort of stuff. We do need to move on some players as well. That needs to be sorted. So there's a lot to do. So, look, I'm happy that a decision's been made. I think it is the right one based on Ange's performance overall. That's my opinion. Guys, if you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. But we must do better. We must do better. And I want to be happier next season and not coming on moaning every week about another defeat. I want to see progress. And, we have to give the new manager a bit of time. But again, a lot of it's going to come back to the board, like it always does. Under Tottenham Hotspur, everything is to do with the board. It's so important that we get the right manager in. And look, I don't know, guys. It's what's going to happen. I'm not going to get so carried away and ultra excited about the future, because there's a lot to do, and the manager change is one thing. Is it the right manager we're going to bring in? We don't know yet. If it is Thomas Frank, is he going to be able to make the step up? As I said, I think he deserves the chance. Would I want someone better than Frank? Yes. I'd probably go for Glasner or Xavi, maybe, but better choice. But Frank, I think, he seems like a good manager. I don't know. I don't know what his ceiling is. I don't know what sort of expectations will be put on Frank for next season. What does he need to do for the fan base as well? If Frank does take charge, what is his minimum expectations next season? What do you want to see from him? Look, I don't know what are the goals of the board going to set for Frank. So much to do. So much to sort out, guys. Tottenham Hotspur, this is the beginning. This is the first step. We know what's happened. We know what's going on. Ange has gone. Thank you for your time at the club and giving us that Europa League. But on the whole, for me, I I don't think he was the right man to take us forward. The board have made a decision. They said it's not going to be based on emotions. It's based on overall performance. And that's that, really. We move forward now. As a fan base, we do need to get behind the manager. Look, there's going to be a lot of fallout. As already said at the beginning of the video, a lot of fans are unhappy. Ange is gone. You know, he had a big following, Ange, at the club, a really big following, and a lot of people really liked him, his character, his personality, outspokenness. But you know, he wasn't for everyone. And for me, I want to see Spurs compete week in, week out, win games, look organised, look like we've got some good tactics, and we're going to need tactics and a good system next season. Playing in the Champions League, getting up that league next season and trying to win a cup again. It's tough for any manager coming in to do that. Obviously, Ange has won that trophy, so our fans going to gauge the new manager that he must win a trophy. But realistically, it's only the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup he can win. We're not in the Europa League. We're in a different tier of competition in the Champions League. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the new manager coming in. And as I keep saying, it's about the board and what ambition they're going to show in the transfer market, and in previous evidence over the years that they never do enough. So you have to hope that this new manager comes in, hits the ground running, that the players that were there and the ones that we bring in get behind the manager, learn his system, and believe in him. You know, there are reports out that the players are not happy of what's happened. Fans are worried that players are going to leave now. Who knows what's going to go on? But we all have to wait for the next decision, which is who the next manager going to be. And then we'll see what happens in the transfer market. We'll see what happens at board level, changes, recruitment. Hopefully not too long, there'll be some kind of announcement of the plan, you know, the structure of the board, recruitment, coaching, whatever, what we're doing. You can only hope. Communication from that level, you know, the board level needs to be so much better with the fan base. Guys, leave us your comments. Big news today. Finally here. Frustration's over. Fans, as always, you know, disagreeing with each other. Some are very happy. Some are really, really happy, and they're celebrating Ange leaving. And some fans are just really unhappy that the club have sacked a manager who has won the Europa League and got us in the Champions League. You're never going to keep everyone happy at Tottenham Hotspur, I'm afraid. Everybody's got their right to their opinions. But, you know, it's a time for the club to move forward and do better. And as a fan base, we must demand that and continue to demand better from Tottenham Hotspur. Build on that win on the Europa League and push on next season. Be serious. That's all we can ask, isn't it? Will we get it? Probably not, knowing Levy and the board. And yeah, a lot more questions than answers right now, guys. Please smash the like button. Give us your comments. Give us your thoughts. Where's your head up? I bet you're relieved that this decision's made. Guys who watch me with different opinions, like, you know, guys who wanted to keep Ange, you know, look, leave your comments. But as I said, you know, what I want is the best for the club. We all do, right? We all want the Spurs to be as best they can be. And we all have to hope that will happen next season, and that we can do a hell of a lot better. But everything is up for debate. Everything is up for a discussion. That's football, eh? Guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care of yourselves. And as always, come on, you Spurs.